Good morning. Gosh darn it. I've been sick for over 6 weeks. It's fucking lame. I'm on the edge of just losing it. Fortunately, I have lava lamps. Joking, not joking. Seriously, I did not think that would be one of the best gifts for my sanity this winter. But here we go. But, I just want to give you guys some tips on how to deal with a sick person, specifically chronically sick, because don't feel alone, but nobody knows how to handle chronically sick people except for chronically sick people and some of our therapists. And I've been getting a lot of misplaced sympathy, and I know I know that my friends, all of you guys, are trying so hard to be nice and sympathetic and make me feel better with your words. And I am sorry to say it actually has the opposite effect, but I have some tools for you, and it'll work with just about anybody that's in constant pain or is dealing with some kind of chronic illness. Now, it may be different if their chronic illness is killing them. I don't know. Thank goodness I don't have cancer or anything like that. I'm just dealing with my Crohn's. But this flu did actually try to kill me, and it's been making people that are already sick very, very much more miserable. So I get this one a lot, and I really don't want to call out any of you personally, but this is multiple people doing this. So if you think I'm calling you out, I'm actually probably referring to 3 or 4 people, or like 50 that say the same thing. It's so common. This is stuff that I used to say before I got sick, because it's just what you say, right? So saying, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't, that's what my girlfriends say this too. I don't really feel like it's your fault. I don't feel like you need to apologize. The apology doesn't do much for me. Say it sucks instead. And some people don't like to say that because it feels like a dismissal. Trust me, I want to dismiss my pain. I do not want to think about this anymore. I already think about it like freaking 16 hours a day. So it's going to feel weird, but if somebody says, gosh, so bad today, I can't believe my condition is acting on you. Gosh, that must really suck. They're gonna appreciate it a lot more than if you say, I'm so sorry. And that point, it's generally, I'm not looking for sympathy when I say that. It's like stubbing my toe. Now, if you stub your toe, it's gonna hurt. You're probably gonna curse. You want to complain about it and share it with somebody, right? You don't want to just walk around like, dang, I just stubbed my toe, but I'm gonna keep it to myself. And it's not that big of a deal, right? You're not gonna die of a stubbed toe. So people, when you say, I stubbed my toe, they're not, oh my God, I'm so sorry. My grandma stubbed her toe once and it was really horrible. No, it's not what you would do, right? Well, if somebody who's in chronic pain for years says, so such and such is acting up, they are experiencing it more like a stubbed toe, even though for you it would be excruciatingly painful, we're just trying to share our experience. We're not actually trying to get sympathy at all. We're just trying to say, hey, I just stubbed my toe. If I'm cursing and hopping around on one foot, it's totally normal. I'm not dying. I just having a bad day. So, maybe you don't want to say that sucks. You can say it's a bummer, or that must be difficult, but even then, I don't want to think about how difficult it is. I'm really trying not to think about pain. And I know you guys can agree with me because you don't like to hear about me being in pain either. Now, this is the second thing that I hear the most commonly. Coffee helps. Coffee makes me warm and fuzzy. So the other thing that I hear is, oh my gosh, dear, I hate to hear you in so much pain, or I hate to see you suffer, or I just don't want to see you have to deal with this. Um, and I understand where you're coming from, because if I had a choice, I wouldn't want to see anybody suffer either. But it can backfire when you say this to people that are in pain all the time, because first of all, we're in pain, we're not thinking that clearly, right? And it's easy to misinterpret things. So definitely want to give somebody some slack if they're in a lot of pain. And I don't even have one of the worst conditions. I know people that are suffering a lot more than me every day. They just want to be they just want to be part of regular life. They want to be able to feel like um, their life experience matters. And when you tell somebody that you're in pain and they say, I hate to hear that, or gosh, it really, really, makes me uncomfortable to see you in pain. It makes people like me feel like I have to hide my pain and not talk about it. And this is the opposite of probably what you're going for. You want to have this person in your life. You care about them. That's why you're saying that. But it's going to come across the other way. It's going to come across to this person who's all muddled up like you don't want to see them because they're always in pain. Like, if you say you don't like to see them in pain and you're always in pain, this is where, you know, depression comes in. This is where, we're already having to deal with this stuff. Depression is really common. It may have something to do with dysregulation of the body in the first place, but also when you start to feel disconnected from your own community, that you start imposing depression things on yourself. And what do I mean by that? I've been in therapy for 17 years now, and I've learned that when you start to feel depressed, you need to go hang out with your friends and get outside no matter how terrible you feel. And yet when I'm in pain, I feel like I can't go see my friends, and I shouldn't go approach my friends because then they would be suffering because I'm suffering. Right, and I already know suffering. I wouldn't want to cause that to anybody. Therefore, to spare you, I'm going to just hide myself away. This is not effective, right, for either side. I'm sorry the camera's shaking so much. I'm still sick, but you know what? Nothing's perfect, and this message is important. Not for me. Obviously, I could care less what you say because I'm over it. I know that when people say, oh, I'm so sorry, or I hate to see you in pain, I know that they don't mean it that way. But there are thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people in this country right now with just my condition, let alone all the other chronic pain conditions, let alone mental anguish and mental pain that you're dealing with constantly. Something tells me we need to be able to talk about pain. In chronic pain, I'm sorry, but it's becoming more common. We're just going to have to deal with it. Painkillers aren't the answer. Painkillers actually destroyed more of my digestive tract and caused me more pain later in my life. So, just as a societal thing, we've got some problems here. But back to my main point, how do you talk to somebody with chronic pain? Well, you can ask them. You can ask them personally and try to just listen. If they're describing their pain, it may be really valuable to them for you to listen, no matter how painful it might be for you to imagine what they're going through. What they're going through is 10 times worse, and they're trying to put it into words. Sometimes just being able to put it into words helps me. I've had friends that just wanted to know what it felt like and didn't shy away from the descriptions of, sometimes it feels like someone's taking an ice pick to my abdomen, and other times it feels like it's just on fire. There's very subtle and different shades of pain. This can be helpful If you've ever done any like meditation or anything on pain or dealing with chronic pain with your therapist, they may say something like, imagine yourself diving into your pain and go to the center of your pain and ask it questions. What is it? What does it feel like? What is its experience? And the reason they do this is, for some reason, when you look right at it and you focus on the pain, it actually starts to go away. For whatever reason, it's like, if this is your alarm bell going off and you've just acknowledged, yes, there is indeed a fire, it's like you can turn the fire alarm off. I don't know. You can get in touch with that kind of pain, and something in your body says, okay, we've acknowledged this, we can turn it down. It doesn't make the pain go away. In mental pain, physical pain, it works either way. If you stare at it and really get curious about what's going on with the pain, it lessens. It's lightens up a little bit. It'll be very helpful. And you can do that for somebody who's in pain by just asking them what exactly they feel like. And if they sound really angry or upset, don't take it personally. Different conditions have different parameters, but something that happens to me is my muscles tense up involuntarily and then won't let go. And since it's all throughout my abdomen, it also affects the diaphragm, and it affects how I'm speaking. It might be doing it a little bit right now. I haven't taken my medicine today, and it makes my sentences shorter, a little bit higher pitched. I sound a little bit more upset. I'm really trying to get it under control right now, but there are times where I will be in the middle of an emotional breakdown talking about it, and yet it's more important to get the words out and just to kind of ignore this emotional wreck of a person that's trying to speak. That is so hard to do. I mean, you practically need training, and yet we all know people that are in pain. Maybe you have a coworker that's in chronic pain. They probably have never said anything about it. They might have just something about their countenance or their eyes that if you look, you realize that person is in pain constantly. And when they smile, it's forced through pain. And when they think, they have to force through that pain and, put it aside. It's something that most people deal with completely silently. It's just being in pain itself, if you're not dying, is really not a big deal in America. But let me tell you, it is. A lot of us are walking around with emotional pain that we're just expected to treat like it's nothing. There are real physiological effects on your body from being in mental anguish. If you care about children at all, or if you were a child and you can think about how horrific it would be to see your best friend gunned down in front of you, you're going through some mental anguish right now. And we need to be able to talk about that and listen and say, you know what? Yeah, that must be really difficult. We're all having a hard time right now. And not just well, pain means nothing, just ignore it and, suck it up. It could be a useful thing. Pain tells us what we should focus on and what's going wrong, honestly. There are helpful aspects to it, and we treat it like this useless side effect. There's a lot of people in a lot of pain. We can at least start talking about it and having these conversations. I don't know where the answers lie. I don't know what solutions we're going to find. I don't know. I just know that if I need to talk this bad, there's other people out there that need to talk that bad. And again, leave me comments. You can make me a video response. You can email me directly. I'm just curious. If you want to talk to me, go ahead and talk to me. I'll put my email again in the description. I feel better already. I do. I really feel better. having just talked about my pain. It's amazing. And if I can help other people with their pain, not grammar, obviously, because I'm brain dead today, but if I can help other people, that alleviates my pain even more. Um, you know, there's a clue there. We should be looking for these things. All right. Have a happy Thursday or whatever the fuck it is. Hugs and drugs, people.